Disclaimer.
Hello everyone, we are the historians and we're going to teach you the history of humankind. In this episode we're going to tell you something about one of the most influential persons in history.
Geert Wilders?
Nope.
Definitely not him. I thought we discussed this already.
Are you sure? Look at this man. Isn't he the greatest ever?
Maybe in another video. Today we talk about the one and only Julius Caesar.
Yeah, I heard about that guy. Isn't he the inventor of the Caesar salad?
You really didn't pay much attention during your history lessons, didn't you?
I wondered too, but I was always thinking about the fun English lessons Mr. Lopik would give after my history class. It's not my fault he's such a good teacher.
I agree, but without further ado, let's begin talking about the early life of Caesar.
Caesar was born into a patrician family which claimed to be descended from Julius, the son of the legendary prince Aeneas, who probably was the son of Venus. This means that Julius Caesar is a grandson of Venus.
So, his grandma is a planet? Is it even possible?
No, I'm talking about Venus, the goddess of love, you fool. But let's go on with the story. Despite their ancient pedigree, the Caesars were not especially politically influential. For example, his father ruled only over the province of Asia. Julius' aunt was married to Gaius Marius, who was one of the most prominent figures in the Republic. In the year 58 BC, the father of Julius died, so Julius was suddenly the head of the family. He was only 16 years old when that happened. After Julius' father died, there was a civil war between two groups, the populars and the optimates. Gaius Marius was the leader of the populars and Lucas Cornelius Sulla was the leader of the optimates. It was a bloody war. During the war, Caesar was nominated to be the new high priest of Jupiter. He was then married to the daughter of Lucas Cornelius Cinna, an ally of Marcius. No, not the daughter of Lucas Cornelius Sulla, the enemy of Marcius.
I get it this time, it's about the god Jupiter. Right?
Yes.
I knew it! But Lucius Cornelius Sulla won the war. That means that Caesar was the next target for a new regime, because he had much connections to the old one. Through this, he was forced to abandon his heritage, his wife's dowry and his priesthood. Because he refused to leave his wife, he was forced to hide.
And where exactly did he hide? I bet it was in a library, because no one ever goes to the library.
I think he hid in the countryside between all the cultivation.
You know, you make me pretty hungry talking about Caesars and salads all the time.
Now get off with the Caesar salads and focus on the video for once.
It's not my fault, you are talking about the food the whole video.
Let's continue the video. After the civil war, Caesar felt that it would be much safer for him to be far away from Rome, because he was a target of Sulla. So he left Rome and joined the army. His commander was Marcus Minicius Thermus in Asia and Servilius Isauricus in Cilicia. He served the commanders with distinction. Because of this, Julius won the civic crown for his part in the siege of Mytilene.
What is the civic crown?
The civic crown is a chaplet of oak leaves woven in the form of a crown. It was reserved for Roman citizens who saved the life of a fellow citizen by slaying an enemy. The citizen must confirm it.
After the siege of Mytilene, Julius Caesar was sent on a mission to Bithynia to secure the assistance of King Nicomedes' fleet. After helping restoring the throne of Nicomedes, Julius Caesar became an ambassador to Nicomedes' court. Julius spent so much time in Bithynia that rumors arose of an affair with the king.
What does that mean?
This means that Caesar is bisexual, but Caesar always denied it for the rest of his life.
I thought a little gay was okay.
Sadly not, but let's go on with the story.
The loss of his priesthood had allowed Julius to pursue a military career because the high priest of Jupiter was not permitted to touch a horse, sleep 3 nights outside his own bed, or 1 night outside Rome, or touch iron.
That must have been horrible. I can't imagine how hard it must be not to be able to eat because you can't touch a knife nor a fork.
For the love of God, this is the last time I warn you. Stop talking about food. You're ruining this video.
Alright. I promise to stop talking about food. Alright. I promise to stop talking about food. After hearing about Sulla's death in 78 BC, Caesar felt safe enough to return to the capital. Because he didn't have the means of his inheritance, he could only afford a small house in the Suburra. He joined the local council and became known for his exceptional way of speaking and his impressive gestures. He was also well known by former governors because of his ruthless pursuit of corrupted governors.
When Caesar was crossing the Aegean Sea, he was kidnapped by pirates and held hostage. The pirates demanded a ransom of 20 talents of silver, but Julius Caesar insisted that they ask for 50 talents instead. He was worth it in his opinion.
What is a talent?
A talent is one of several ancient units of mass. It was corresponding units of value equivalent to these masses of a precious metal, such as gold, silver and platinum. A Roman talent was 32.3 kilograms. This means that Caesar asked for a 32.3 times 50 equals 1615 kilograms of silver.
You know, I also have a talent for eating a lot of food.
Damn it.
I will finish it for you. After the ransom was paid, Caesar raised the fleet. He pursued and captured the pirates and imprisoned them. He had them crucified on his own authority, as he had promised while he was in prison.
Always look on the bright side of life. Come on! Always look on the right side of life. For life is quite absurd, and death's the final word. You must always face the curtain with a bow. Forget about your scene, give the audience a grin. Enjoy it, it's your last chance anyhow. So always look on the bright side of death. Just before you draw your terminal breath. Life's a piece of shit when you look at it. Life's a laugh and death's a joke, it's true. You'll see it's all a show, keep on laughing as you go. Just remember that the last laugh is on you. And always look on the right side of life. Always look on the right side of life. Always look on the right side.
After his captivity, Caesar was called back into military action in Asia. He had to raise a group of auxiliaries who are a non-citizen corps of the Imperial Roman Army. This group had to repel an incursion from the east. On his return to Rome, he was elected military turbine. This is his first step in a political career. I think we should talk about the capture of Gallic.
Good idea. It will be fun. Well, in 58 BC, Julius Caesar was ordered to fight against the Gallic tribes in behalf of the Roman Empire. This war took him 8 years before he finally won. The battle couldn't be really called fair, because Julius Caesar only had 20,000 soldiers under his disposal, while the enemy had a total of 200,000 soldiers. After countless battles, the final blow by the Roman Empire was dealt to the city called Alesia. The Gallic tribes used the city as some kind of protection. This particular battle took quite long because it was very hard to conquer a city which is filled with enemies. Because of this, Julius Caesar came up with a different strategy. Just build a large wall around the city and wait until they get outside.
Wait a minute, this plan to build a wall sounds very familiar. Never mind.
It was very unlikely they would survive long in a place without food, so now they would just have to wait until the enemy came to them. And after a while, the Gauls indeed came outside to look for some food. Julius Caesar was prepared for this action and slaughtered the soldiers, and by doing so he conquered all of Gaelic.
Isn't the story you just told a reflection of the cartoon series Asterix and Obelix? How could the ghouls ever lose with a wizard on their side who makes magic potions which make the user almost godlike?
You know that is just a made-up story, don't you?
That's nonsense. If it really was fake, then how do you explain the following video fragment? Pretty convincing, I would say. In 69 BC, Caesar was old enough for the politics. He had proven himself in combat and was very popular among the populace. In the 9 years to come, he would hold the following functions. He would be a quaestor. This function is reserved for an important person in a district. After that, he would be a curator. Curator is someone who supervises the roads and look after everybody paying their tolls. Aedilus Curulus organizes games and street market. After that job he was an Ledux Quaestorius. That means he's just a judge. After his job as judge he became a Pontifex Maximus. This means that he became a high priest. After his priesthood he became praetor. This means that he is the supervisor and ruler of a district. And because he got a second term of praetor, he became a pro-praetor. After those 9 years, Caesar was very popular. He was well known among the citizens and among the rich people as well. He was popular among the citizens because he was a popularis. And he was popular among the rich people because he was descended from a rich family. He was also part of the first triumvirate.
What is a triumvirate?
The triumvirate is a collaboration between 3 important people, namely Caesar, Cyrus and Pompeius.
Crassus was a very wealthy man who had knocked down a rebellion among the gladiators. This rebellion was started by Spartacus, who was a Roman slave. Spartacus fought as a gladiator, but he got arrested after he failed to escape from the Roman army. Pompeius was a general who had defeated the royal Pontus. He also cleared the Mediterranean from pirates in only 3 months. After he conquered Gallia, Caesar returned to Rome and was appointed dictator for life, but some rich persons didn't like his attitude. Their plan was to lure Caesar to the session of the Senate. There were some senators who conspired to assassinate Caesar. In the Senate, a group of 60 men participated in the assassination and Caesar got stabbed 23 times and died. Here are some fun facts.
Julius Caesar was a grandson of the goddess Venus.
He had a son with Cleopatra, the leader of Egypt.
He was considered the father of the leap year.
During Caesar's assassination, he also once got stabbed in his junk.
He was never a Roman emperor.
I have a salad. I have a Caesar. Caesar salad.